The video captured by NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory has become one of the most widely shared and debated clips in recent years. At the center of the mystery is a vast circular sphere that appears to move toward the Sun before vanishing from view. The phenomenon has fueled passionate discussions among scientists, researchers, and the public alike, not only because of the scale of the object, but because of what it might mean if the event was more than a natural occurrence. In the footage, the Sun burns brightly as it always does under the watchful gaze of the observatory, but what stands out is the sudden arrival of the massive sphere. It drifts into the frame, noticeably darker than its surroundings, its surface flawless in shape, and then, as though deliberately, it disappears. To many who have analyzed the recording, this was no ordinary astronomical event. Based on its apparent size compared to the Sun, estimates suggest that the sphere would measure thousands of miles in diameter, easily dwarfing planets in our solar system. That detail alone has left many stunned, for such an object would challenge our very understanding of what exists near our star. One of the first explanations offered for the sighting was that the event was a lunar transit. NASA explained that the Moon occasionally passes between the Solar Dynamics Observatory and the Sun, and during these transits, the Moon can appear as a dark circle moving steadily across the solar surface. Such transits are well documented, and they provide scientists with valuable calibration data for their instruments. But those who have examined the footage closely have argued that this sphere behaved differently. Instead of moving smoothly across the Sun's surface as the Moon typically does, the sphere seemed to approach from the depths of space, pause briefly near the Sun, and then disappear without following a linear trajectory. Adding to the intrigue is the long history of strange objects observed in the vicinity of both the Sun and the Moon. Amateur astronomers and space enthusiasts have documented countless anomalies near these celestial bodies, many of which defy easy explanation. Some have been dismissed as camera artifacts or shadows, while others remain unexplained. The consistency of such sightings has led some to theorize that advanced craft or structures may be operating in our solar system, often hidden from public view except for fleeting moments like this one. If the object in the NASA footage was indeed a sphere of immense size and not the Moon, the implications are profound. For one, it would mean that a massive artificial or natural body was operating dangerously close to the Sun, enduring heat and radiation levels far beyond what human technology could currently withstand. This possibility has sparked speculation that the sphere could be some form of advanced spacecraft, perhaps harvesting energy directly from the Sun. This concept is not foreign to science. Theorists have long proposed the idea of megastructures, such as Dyson spheres, which would envelop a star to collect its energy. To witness something resembling that concept near our own Sun would be nothing short of revolutionary. At the same time, the video has reignited age-old questions about why so much of space exploration is shrouded in secrecy. The Solar Dynamics Observatory records data continuously, but only select footage is shared with the public. Could it be that anomalies like this are more common than we are told, and that only a fraction of what is captured ever makes it into public view? These questions, while speculative, resonate strongly with those who believe that humanity is only being given a carefully filtered version of reality. The debate has also reached into scientific circles. While mainstream voices emphasize the likelihood of a lunar transit, even some academics have admitted that the visual characteristics of the sphere are unusual. The object appears unnaturally perfect in its geometry, with no surface irregularities, no distortions from solar activity, and no evidence of being a typical celestial body. This has encouraged the idea that it may not be a natural phenomenon at all, but rather something intentionally designed. For the general public, the fascination lies not only in what the object could be, but in what it represents. If this is indeed evidence of advanced technology, it forces humanity to rethink its place in the universe. The timing of this sighting also cannot be ignored. In recent years, discussions about unidentified aerial phenomena have been increasingly legitimized. Government agencies have admitted to studying them, and high-ranking officials have openly acknowledged the need for greater transparency. In this context, the appearance of a massive sphere near the Sun in official NASA footage feels less like an anomaly and more like another piece of a much larger puzzle, one that may point toward long-suppressed truths about our universe. For many, the mysterious NASA video serves as both evidence and metaphor. Evidence, in that it provides a tangible, observable event that defies simple explanation. Metaphor, in that it highlights the broader mystery of what lies beyond our world and the limits of human knowledge. The sun, the giver of life to our planet, may also be the stage upon which deeper cosmic secrets are revealed. Ultimately, whether the sphere was the moon in transit or something far more extraordinary, its presence has left an indelible mark on the imagination of those who saw it. The thousands of shares and the passionate debates are testament to the human hunger for discovery and truth. Perhaps one day, NASA will reveal more about what its observatories have captured. For decades, the sun has been studied with some of the most advanced instruments humanity has ever built. NASA's solar observatories, including the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory and the Solar Dynamics Observatory, were designed to monitor solar flares, magnetic storms, and plasma eruptions that can affect Earth. But alongside the data gathered for science, something else has emerged. Time and again, cameras watching the sun have captured objects, geometric, structured, and unmistakably artificial, that should not be there. These sightings are not fleeting blurs or vague smudges. They are clear shapes that stand out against the chaos of solar plasma. Enormous cubes with sharp angles, spheres larger than planets, and elongated structures that appear to move with intent have all been recorded hovering near the sun. Unlike solar flares, which ripple and twist chaotically, these shapes display precision, geometry, and stability, qualities that nature rarely produces on its own. Their presence so close to the most dangerous environment in our solar system suggests technology far beyond human understanding. The sun is no ordinary setting. Its surface roars at thousands of degrees, its outer atmosphere blazes in the millions, and its constant radiation destroys anything unshielded. The gravitational pull is immense, and the solar winds sweep violently outward, filling space with streams of charged particles. No spacecraft built by humanity could survive there. Yet again and again, these objects appear in close proximity, holding their position or moving through the solar environment as though unaffected. To many, this is proof that they are not only real, but that they are operated with knowledge and abilities far beyond our own. Some of the most striking images show massive spheres that seem to draw close to the sun, linger for a time, and then vanish back into the darkness of space. In one famous sequence, a sphere appeared to connect to the sun with a luminous tether, as though extracting energy before detaching and moving away. If real, this suggests a technology capable of tapping directly into the power of a star, an ability that would place its builders at an unimaginable level of advancement. Other images show black cubes, sometimes partially obscured, as if censoring themselves against the sun's glare. These cubes are enormous, with some researchers estimating their size to be larger than Earth itself. Their clean edges and symmetrical form make it difficult to mistake them for plasma bursts or random interference. The implication is startling. Colossal structures operating silently at the edge of our vision, hiding in plain sight against the brilliance of the sun. And then there are the craft-like forms. Long, rod-shaped objects, some with protrusions resembling wings or arms, have been captured moving across the solar disk. In one case, a radiant cross-like shape appeared against the deep blue of filtered space imagery, glowing against the background stars. These are not accidents of light. They show form, balance, and consistency, qualities that echo the design of ships or stations. If these objects are indeed physical, their purpose becomes the next mystery. The sun is the greatest source of energy in our system. Each second, it emits more power than humanity has consumed in all of history. For a civilization advanced enough to travel the stars, the sun would be an irresistible well of energy. These objects could be collectors, drawing power for unknown reasons, storing it, or transporting it elsewhere. Another possibility is observation. The sun lies at the center of the solar system. From its vantage point, every planet, including Earth, can be studied as they circle in their orbits. If an advanced intelligence wished to monitor humanity discreetly, stations positioned near the sun would be logical. Bathed in blinding light and intense radiation, these objects would remain hidden to ground-based telescopes, visible only when captured by specialized solar instruments. There is also the idea of experimentation. The sun is a natural laboratory of extreme forces. Its magnetic fields twist violently, its radiation floods space, and its plasma storms ripple with unimaginable heat. For a civilization capable of withstanding such extremes, the sun may be the ultimate testing ground, an environment to study matter, energy, and forces in their rawest form. If that is true, then what humanity has witnessed are not accidents, but deliberate operations conducted in plain view of our instruments. Skeptics have long argued that these sightings are simply errors, glitches, cosmic rays striking cameras, or gaps in transmission. But the persistence of these forms across multiple years, missions, and instruments undermines that explanation. When the same cube, the same sphere, the same elongated craft-like shapes continue to appear, it is no longer a coincidence. It is evidence. What makes the case stronger is the scale. Some of these objects, based on their proximity to the Sun, must measure thousands of miles across. For comparison, Earth itself is only about 8,000 miles wide. A single one of these structures could dwarf our planet, suggesting either vast space stations or ships of unimaginable size. If they are real, then the technology behind them operates at a scale far beyond anything humanity has conceived. The implications are staggering. Humanity has long wondered if it is alone in the universe. For centuries, the Sun has been seen as a life-giving star, worshipped as a god by ancient civilizations. Now, in the age of satellites and digital imaging, it may be revealing something even greater, that it is a hub of activity, a place where advanced intelligences operate openly, though just beyond the limits of ordinary human perception. It also raises a more profound question. Why now? Why do these sightings seem more frequent in recent decades? Is it because our technology has finally advanced enough to notice them, or because the objects themselves are increasing their presence near the Sun? Governments and space agencies have largely remained silent. Official explanations often fall back on safe answers, data glitches, lens flares, or natural phenomena. But silence can only last so long. As the images continue to spread across the world, shared by researchers, enthusiasts, and ordinary people, the reality of these objects becomes harder to dismiss. The conversation is shifting. More and more, the public believes that what we are seeing near the Sun is real. The next step is discovery. Missions like the Parker Solar Probe, which is flying closer to the Sun than any spacecraft in history, may one day provide direct evidence of these structures. Higher resolution cameras, better shielding against radiation, and improved transmission systems will cut down on errors, leaving less room for ambiguity. If the objects remain, then we will know. Until then, the mystery endures. Gigantic shapes, cubes, spheres, and luminous craft, moving and operating in the very heart of the solar system. They challenge everything we know about survival, energy, and technology. They force us to consider that humanity may be living in a neighborhood already occupied, with the Sun itself as the stage where this truth is revealed. The universe is vast, and for centuries we have gazed outward, searching for signs of company among the stars. But perhaps the greatest sign has been with us all along, hidden in plain sight, right beside the blazing star that gives us life. The objects near the Sun may be more than just anomalies. They may be the most extraordinary discovery humanity has ever stumbled upon. And if they are real, then the story of our place in the cosmos has only just begun. In recent years, advancements in camera technology and accessible telescopes have made it possible for amateur astronomers to explore the Moon in incredible detail. Among these enthusiasts was a man who recently uploaded a video online claiming to have discovered a massive wall-like structure stretching across the lunar surface. The video quickly went viral, captivating the public and sparking debate across social media and astronomy forums. While lunar scientists have yet to confirm or deny the video's findings, the unusual sight has drawn attention to the Moon's lesser-known and mysterious topography, raising questions about its origins, potential natural explanations, and the limits of current lunar exploration. The video shows a vast structure that appears to stretch for miles along the Moon's surface. As the camera pans, the structure, dubbed the lunar wall by viewers, stands out against the surrounding lunar landscape. Its unusual straight lines and uniform height give it an unnatural appearance, reminiscent of ancient eroded walls found on Earth. The uploader claimed that the feature looked too regular to be natural and speculated that it might be the remnants of a constructed barrier or foundation. Although speculation ranged widely, From extraterrestrial civilizations to secret lunar missions, the intriguing nature of the formation raised curiosity among viewers and enthusiasts alike. The mysterious video spurred discussions about more speculative possibilities, including theories that propose an artificial origin for the wall. Researchers have said that anomalies have been photographed on the moon for decades, fueled by unusual photographs from lunar missions and unexplained formations captured by telescopes. Some theorists believe that the moon may have hosted intelligent life, or that structures left by an unknown civilization could still remain. Supporters of this idea point to specific lunar anomalies, like the so-called lunar spires or domes, which some argue resemble artificial constructs. According to this line of thought, if the wall were indeed artificial, it could be a remnant of an ancient settlement, fortification, or boundary. The video's impact on the public highlights an ongoing fascination with the moon and the mysteries it holds. The moon, our closest celestial neighbor, has been a subject of human curiosity for millennia, inspiring myths, legends, and now, modern-day exploration. Despite multiple missions to the moon, including those that brought back rock samples and images from its surface, vast portions of the moon remain relatively unexplored. Recent plans by NASA and other space agencies to return to the moon are partly motivated by this desire to understand the lunar surface better, with more advanced technology capable of probing deeper and examining these formations with greater precision. In a curious twist, the original website that first hosted the image of the lunar wall has since taken down the link, making it increasingly difficult to locate the initial photograph. As discussions and debates erupted online, many sought to analyze and scrutinize the image themselves. However, it soon became apparent that the image was becoming harder and harder to find. Following the viral wave of attention, numerous websites that had briefly hosted or mirrored the photograph removed it as well, leading some to question why such an intriguing piece of lunar imagery would suddenly be pulled from public access. The sudden disappearance of the image sparked speculation across social media and in online groups. Some users argued that the removal of the image might simply be due to copyright concerns or the website's desire to avoid the influx of traffic and attention. Others, however, saw the removal as a possible indication of something deeper, a reluctance to allow further examination of the structure. Some have suggested that the image was removed at the request of undisclosed sources or organizations, speculating that certain parties might want to limit access to what could be a sensitive or unexplained feature on the moon's surface. These theories, while speculative, gained traction due to the image's rapid disappearance and the absence of any official explanations. As amateur astronomers and curious individuals tried to track down the image on various forums and databases, it became clear that even digital archives and websites typically dedicated to preserving lunar imagery were reluctant or unable to retain the photograph. For those who had viewed the image before its removal, the vanishing act added an additional layer of mystery, as many described feeling as though they had witnessed something unusual that was now being deliberately obscured. As the original photograph became elusive, some dedicated internet sleuths turned to image archives and other independent sources to try to recover copies. Although a few low-resolution screenshots and re-uploads continued to circulate, none seemed to capture the clarity and detail of the original photograph. This gradual erasure of the photograph from the internet led some to document what they had seen, describing the image in detail to others and fueling speculation about its authenticity, origins, and the nature of the alleged lunar wall. The removal of the original image and the subsequent inability to verify its existence has only deepened the intrigue surrounding the lunar wall. The phenomenon is now viewed by some as part of a broader pattern where intriguing, potentially unexplained lunar features, whether genuine anomalies or optical illusions, are met with limited access and sudden restrictions. For those captivated by the mysteries of the moon, the photograph's disappearance serves as both a source of frustration and a reminder of how the unknown often slips away just as it seems within reach. Over the years, astronomers and space enthusiasts alike have been captivated by mysterious photographs of the moon that seem to reveal structures far beyond the realm of natural formations. Among the most intriguing images are those depicting what appear to be large towers, square-shaped buildings, and other geometric anomalies scattered across the lunar surface. Though skeptics often attribute these formations to optical illusions, tricks of light, or geological coincidences, a growing number of researchers argue that these anomalies are real and warrant further investigation. The shapes and regularity of these formations suggest the possibility that the Moon may host structures that could be artificial or, at the very least, represent geological processes unlike any observed on Earth. One of the most compelling features that has been documented on the Moon is what some call the lunar towers. These formations appear as tall, slender structures that rise above the lunar surface, casting long shadows in photos taken during lunar missions and by telescopic imaging from Earth. The shadows themselves provide clues about the size of these formations, suggesting that some towers could stand hundreds or even thousands of feet tall. If these structures are indeed solid and vertical, as they appear, then they represent a phenomenon unlike anything naturally occurring on the Moon, where most known geological structures are formed horizontally due to the lack of tectonic activity. The towering nature of these formations has led some researchers to speculate that they may serve as remnants of ancient architecture or as observation posts, although the exact purpose remains a matter of debate. Another striking category of lunar anomalies includes structures that exhibit square or rectangular shapes, resembling buildings or fortifications. These formations have been documented in photos taken by both Apollo astronauts and, more recently, by high-resolution lunar orbiters. Unlike the irregular and jagged landscape typically seen on the Moon, these anomalies display sharp, well-defined angles, suggesting intentional design rather than random geological formations. In one area known as the Lunar City by some enthusiasts, several square-like structures appear grouped together, raising questions about whether they could be the remains of an ancient settlement or outpost. While natural processes such as erosion and impact cratering might explain some irregularities, the precise angles of these buildings make it difficult to dismiss them as purely natural. Some theories propose that these formations are relics of an ancient civilization that may have visited the Moon long before humans. Given the Moon's stable conditions and lack of atmosphere, structures built on its surface could potentially last for millions of years without significant erosion, allowing ancient constructs to endure. Proponents of this theory argue that the Moon's proximity to Earth would make it a logical location for a base of operations or an observation point for any advanced beings who may have visited our planet. Furthermore, with recent discoveries suggesting that water ice exists in some lunar craters, it's conceivable that such a base could sustain life, at least periodically, even with the Moon's harsh environmental conditions. Another intriguing piece of evidence supporting the existence of these lunar anomalies comes from photographs taken during various space missions. For instance, the Apollo missions, while bringing back invaluable data and samples from the Moon, also captured photographs that show structures unlike any previously documented. In particular, images from Apollo 15 and Apollo 17 show unusual formations with strong shadows and straight edges. Many of these photos have sparked speculation that the astronauts may have encountered more than just rocks and dust on the Moon. In some reports, Apollo astronauts allegedly described seeing structures or unusual lights while on the lunar surface, although official transcripts do not document these claims in detail. Such accounts, while unverified, have added to the mystery and fueled theories that NASA may have withheld certain information from the public. Recent lunar missions, such as those conducted by China's Chang'e program, have provided high-resolution images that appear to confirm some of these mysterious formations. In several photos, objects resembling pillars or elongated structures can be seen casting shadows, similar to the lunar towers observed in earlier photographs. Chinese researchers have expressed interest in exploring these regions further, as the formations do not match the typical patterns of impact craters or lava flows. Unlike previous missions, where some data might have been lost or unexplored due to technological limitations, modern probes and rovers could provide a closer look, shedding light on these mysterious formations and determining if they are, in fact, constructed structures or natural anomalies. One argument supporting the artificial nature of these anomalies is their precise geometric patterns. On Earth, such shapes are often the result of intelligent design, as nature rarely produces perfect squares, right angles, or large symmetrical structures without some form of external influence. While the Moon has experienced billions of years of meteor impacts and cosmic radiation, these processes typically create craters, fractures, and irregular ridges. The existence of straight lines, aligned corners, and cylindrical towers suggests that other processes, potentially artificial in origin, could be responsible for their formation. Skeptics argue that these shapes may be a result of human pattern recognition, a phenomenon called pareidolia, but the consistency and recurrence of these shapes in multiple lunar images suggest that there may be more than mere coincidence at play. If these formations are artificial, they raise profound questions about who might have created them, when, and why. Some theorists have posited that an ancient advanced civilization could have traveled to or from Earth, using the Moon as a base.